Hello, Bodharites. Welcome to the science lecture of grade 9. And in this video session, we are going to learn about improvement in food resources. Dear students, here are some keywords. Please write these words in your classwork 2 times so that you can learn these words with correct spellings. Sustainable, poultry, yield, hybridization, pisciculture, fertilizers, micronutrients, cultivation, cereals, agronomic, decomposition, apiculture, macronutrients, intergeneric. The students' question may arise that why do we need to study this chapter? So what is the need to improve our food resources? Isn't everything going quite well? No need to change anything. So if these types of questions are arising in our mind, then answer is over here. There is a need to introduce production efficiency of crops and livestock as there is rapid increase in population. It's been 4 times since independence, dear students. And you know very well that population is still increasing in our country. But the land area, the increasing land area is for residential or commercial purpose, not for farming. And many people are likely to just migrate from village area to city area. So due to these types of problems, their demand is increasing in some particular areas. So now what can be done? So we must have to improve our efficiency, and how it can be done? By employing sustainable practices. So what are sustainable practices? Increase in food production and its nutrient quality without degrading our environment and disturbing ecological balance. So this thing is necessary in agriculture as well as animal husbandry both, as we have 2 types of people, vegetarian as well as non-vegetarian. So fulfill their demand, we can improve the nutrient quality as well as food production without degrading, without harming our environment. So this is known as sustainable practice. For sustained livelihood, one should undertake mixed farming, intercropping, integrated farming practices. For example, combine agriculture with livestock, poultry, fisheries, beekeeping, etc. So here are some major advancements for increase in food production in our country. Following are the advancements. Green revolution, increase in crop yield, variety and quality. White revolution, increase in milk production. Dear students, Operation Flood was initiated in 1970. Amul Dairy, one of the very famous milk item production unit, was under this project. And this project put India from milk deficient country to highest milk producing country in the world. So government supported all these industries under these projects. After that, Blue Revolution, in which fish production was promoted and help was provided from government to those particular people. After that, Yellow Revolution, in which increase in oil seed production was the major point. So there are many type of crops grown in our country. Here some of the examples are shared. Cereals, wheat, rice, maize, millets, sorghum. They provide carbohydrates which is required for energy. After that, pulses. Pulses are pea, gram, black gram, green gram, PGNP, lentils, etc. And pulses are very rich source of proteins. You must have heard in science or ABS that proteins are very much necessary for our body growth. So that we can get from pulses. After that, oil seeds, soya bean, groundnut, sesame, castor, mustard, linseed, sunflower. You must have heard about oil seeds also, that the food that contain oil is the main source of fat. Fat is one type of storage in our body. Whenever our body needs energy and if food is not available, that fat will be utilized for getting energy. After that, vegetables, spices, fruits. These are rich source of vitamins and minerals which are necessary for various functions of our body. Fodder crops like birdseed, oats, Sudan grass, etc. So these are raised as food for the livestock, especially in cattle and poultry. These things are required. Dear students, one difference that you must have learned in previous classes also is given over here. Difference between Kharif crops and Rabi crops. So Kharif crops are also known as monsoon or rainy season crops. Rabi crops are known as non-monsoon season crops. Here, they are grown in hot and wet conditions. These Rabi crops are grown in cold and nearly dry conditions, so almost winter time. These crops are sown in the beginning of rainy season, that is June, July month. That is starting of our academic year also, right? So every year you must have experienced the rain in the beginning of new standard in our school. These crops are sown in October, November when monsoon is retreated. So this is the time from when the winter begins. These crops are harvested during September, October at the end of monsoon. And these Rabi crops are harvested in March, April before the advent of hot season. Examples are rice, maize, groundnut, soybean, green gram, cotton, black gram, etc. are Kharif crops. Whereas here wheat, barley, gram, mustard, linseed and pea, etc. So here are some strategies or practices we use to improve our existing food resources. First of all, we need to improve our crop yield. Yield means whatever we require, the thing that fulfill our requirement, or we can say that most usable form of crop from which we can get maximum useful things. The practices involved in farming to improve our yield are divided into 3 stages. They are appropriate choice of seeds for planting. We must have to select proper seeds. It is said that if seed is not proper, then in look it may be proper, but the crop that will grow will not be of proper height or proper product will not be obtained by us. So seed selection is also very much necessary. Improving nurturing of the crop plants. We must have to nurture those crops, means we have to take care of them while they are being sown in the farms as well as when they are being grown in the farms. Protection of the growing and harvested crops from loss. We must have to protect also. After once they are grown, we have to store them properly. So all those stages are there. We are going to discuss all these stages. Hence, the major activities for improving crop yields can be classified as crop variety improvement, crop production improvement, and crop protection improvement. Students, let us start from the very first topic is crop variety improvement. Crop variety improvement depends on finding a crop that can give a good yield, means that can fulfill our demand or requirement. Such varieties are specifically chosen to give better yield even in many adverse environmental conditions. Some of the factors for which variety improvement is done are higher yield. For increasing the productivity per acre of land. Land area will remain same, but in that particular area, how much crop production we can attain, that is much more important. After that, improved quality. That more production doesn't mean that more benefit, but quality also matters. So quality considerations vary from crop to crop as per the requirements. Biotic and abiotic resistance. Most important factor is over here that crops should have sufficient resistance to biotic factors. Biotic means living organisms. So some of the diseases are possible with some crops. Some insects may attack, nematodes, those who are dependent on crops. So they may attack the mass. So we must have to prevent our crop from these biotic factors. And abiotic factors like heat, excess amount of heat or cold or frost, etc. So we must have to maintain the situations in which our crop can grow properly. Change in maturity duration. The shorter the duration, the more economical is the variety. We can understand it very easily. Wider adaptability. It can be grown in different climatic conditions. So if we are able to develop these characteristics, then it will give us more beneficial results. Desirable agronomic characteristics means special traits are desired. Tallness and profuse branching for fodder crops. Dwarfness is desired for cereals. If we get taller and taller crops, then this is one desirable agronomic characteristic. Means in agricultural field also it is beneficial, and economically also it will give us benefit, right? Because the more product will give us more money. So this is how these factors can be considered very important. Now, dear students, here we have genetically modified crops. Means for better yield, if we can change at genetic level, then what can be done? So here is one example of cotton crop. The crop is improved by introducing a gene that would provide desired characteristics. Here, Bt gene obtained from one bacteria introduced into cotton plant provides pest resistance against bollworm. This saves the cotton crop from damage. The cotton so obtained is called Bt cotton. Dear students, over here Bt refers to Bacillus thuringiensis, which is one type of bacteria shown over here, and it is a naturally occurring bacteria that produces a protein toxic to certain types of insects. A gene inside the bacteria that is responsible for producing that toxic substance will be introduced into this cotton crop, so that that crop can be prevented from those insects attack. Dear students, next topic we'll discuss in next video session.